Hi, my name is Athena and I am a certified hypnotherapist. I do clinical hypnotherapy and past and current life regression work. And today I want to talk to you about intuition. Now, intuition is basically when you come to a certain piece of knowledge without any specific conscious reasoning behind it. You don't really have any data or facts. You just have a gut feeling, or you think something. You're not even maybe sure why. You just are very sure of what you feel or think. And a lot of times we say that, our intuition guides us, or it's a gut instinct of something. Now, in my own journey, one of the struggles that I had with intuition was, I would have my friends tell me all the time, "Oh, you have such good intuition." And I immediately would be like, "But do I? Because I've really made some poor choices in my life. So how can I have good intuition if I've made some poor choices?" And even when I went down the, pathways of intuition and being intuitive and what does all that mean? And, where is your intuition, guiding you? My first thoughts that kept coming back to is, wouldn't my intuition always ensure that I don't, make a poor decision, or that I, only make good decisions? And for me, it really took working through this concept to come around to the fact that your intuition is actually tied in part to your blueprint for this lifetime. And so I spoke previously about blueprints and reincarnation and with your life experiences. And so how it kind of comes around is, if you find that, you've had a situation with a person, romantic partner or whatnot, that you chose to go into a relationship with that person, and it ended poorly. It doesn't even matter what happened in the situation, why it ended. Let's just say it was not a good decision for you to either go into it or for you to remain in it, or maybe as long as you did. But for whatever reason, that was that. When you look back at it, most of the time, you're able to look back and see some of the flags that were prevalent right out of the gate that you maybe decided to ignore for whatever reason. But when you look at it and say, well, why did my intuition lead me into that? I remember in the moment feeling so strong and passionate, and sure that this was the path that I was supposed to take. And at that point, it's when the blueprint engages. So from there, what happens is you had a soul contract with that person, and to experience certain things and to grow and evolve from it. So your intuition actually led you directly into an experience you had previously agreed to have. And that's why you felt so strong and certain about it. So if you're somebody who's sitting in a space where you're unsure about your intuition, or you have doubts about your intuition based off of the experiences that you've had in your life, and you look at it and you think, wow, I just don't know that I can trust myself. I don't know that I can trust the decisions that I make in the future. I don't know how to trust myself. I encourage you to sit in the space and not look at it so much that your intuition was wrong or that your intuition led you astray, but instead that your intuition led you directly into the experience that you had previously agreed to. And that when you look at those experiences from that viewpoint, and then look back and say, okay, what did I learn from them? How did I grow as a person? Was it simply that I identified, okay, this is the kind of person I don't want to be with? Or maybe it's something that makes you realize, wow, this is not the person that I want to be. I was a person in that relationship and I didn't really like that version of myself. And so maybe I want to make changes. And if you instead start to reframe, what that experience was and what you learned from it and how you grew from it, then you'll start to grow back into the idea that your intuition actually doesn't lead you astray. It leads you directly into what it needs you to be in for your own growth and your own evolution. So that's intuition in a nutshell. I'm sure you've had situations before where you walk into a room and there is somebody there, and for whatever reason, you don't know why, but you just think, I cannot be around that person. That person gives me some real bad vibes. That's your intuition speaking. It doesn't mean you have facts behind it, and you don't need facts. In fact, as we look forward to the future and the choices that we make in the future, I highly suggest that you pay more attention to your intuition. I know that for myself, there's been times that I've ignored my intuition and it's landed me in some bad spots. I know there's some times that in order to follow my intuition, I've had to effectively break my own heart because I've known I was in a situation that I had to get out of. Did my heart, want to get out of it? No, my heart didn't want to get out of it. But my intuition said, you have to get out of this. You have to make a change. You cannot stay in this. This is bad. So I think if we all did a little bit more of listening to our intuition, listening to what our gut tells us, then hopefully we can find those happier paths. But sometimes that intuition leads us directly into a growing experience. And those growing experiences are important. They're important for you in the evolution of your soul, and they're important for you just as you go through life to, appreciate the good along with the bad. Because if we don't go through pain points, then we don't always appreciate the beauty in the things that we have or when we do get them. And sometimes we don't even realize specifically what we're looking for and what we want out of life until we go through experiences that show us what we absolutely don't want in life. So as you look to use your intuition further, listen to it. Listen to that little voice inside you that says, do this, don't do that. Or, are you sure? Because there will be experiences, even when you make certain decisions, that will come back around and, they will test you. Are you sure? And so be sure. Be sure, don't fall into it. So that's my little talk on intuition. Have a great day.